Alright, in today's class we will be talking about solubility rules. By the end of this class you should be able to understand solubility rules in chemistry. But first we need to define the term solubility. What is solubility? Solubility is the ability of a solute to dissolve in a solvent to form a homogeneous solution. We know that a solution comprises of a solute and a solvent. And in most cases, our solvent is water. And as for a homogeneous solution, that is a mixture where the components are uniformly distributed, resulting in a one-phase system. The question is, why do we need to know solubility rules? With solubility rules, we will be able to write net ionic equations. Remember that when you are writing net ionic equations, you need to assign state symbols to each of the compounds involved in that reaction. Also, with solubility rules, we will be able to predict whether an ionic compound will dissolve in water and also be able to predict precipitation reactions. We know that precipitation reactions, those are reactions which involve the formation of a solid. That solid, we refer to it as a precipitate. Now, let's go through solubility rules. First, we'll start with soluble compounds. And we know that for soluble compounds, we are going to assign the state symbol AQ, that is aqueous. Now, here we are saying that group 1 or alkali metal salts, ammonium salts, nitrates, chlorates, perchlorates, and acetates all are soluble. For example, we have sodium chloride, ammonium chloride, silver nitrate, potassium chlorate, and sodium acetate. Some of the soluble compounds, they have some exceptions. Let's go through those. Here it says all the sulfates are soluble except when paired with barium, strontium, calcium, and silver. Let's read that statement again. All the sulfates are soluble except when paired with barium, strontium, calcium, and silver. What we are saying is that sodium sulfate is soluble, but barium 2 sulfate is insoluble. The last one here says all chlorides, bromides, and iodides are soluble except when paired with silver, lead, and mercury. For example, sodium chloride is soluble, but silver chloride is insoluble. Now, let's look at insoluble compounds. So, for insoluble compounds, we are going to use the state symbol S for solid. So, the first rule here says all carbonates, phosphates, sulfides are insoluble except with group 1 ions and ammonium ions. Group 1 ions we refer to sodium, we have potassium. For example, calcium carbonate is insoluble, but sodium carbonate is soluble. Another rule says all hydroxides are insoluble except with group 1 ions and ammonium ions. For example, ion 3 hydroxide is insoluble, but sodium hydroxide is soluble. The reason being that sodium belongs to group 1 metals. The last one, it says all sulfides are insoluble except with group 1, group 2, and ammonium ions. For example, zinc 2 sulfide is insoluble, but sodium sulfide and magnesium sulfide are soluble. Reason being that sodium is a group 1 ion, magnesium is a group 2 ion. That is the end of our class. Thank you.